What's up everyone, James here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my Nano shrimp tank down here. I call this Aquascape Shrimp Rock. I did a video on it a little while ago, and I'll put a little link up in the top corner here. Was it that side? One or the other, and in the description, so you can just check out that video. Wasn't the greatest aquascape in the world, but it looks pretty good. So I just want to give an update on it and let you know what's been happening since I've done that aquascape. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I put out weekly videos on my fish keeping journey. I give tips, tricks, reviews, and a whole lot more. So there's something hopefully for everybody to check out. So yeah, it's definitely worth subscribing. This tank has been set up roughly for around 10 weeks now. It's gone through a few little bits and pieces in terms of changes, not too much, more to do with the actual stocking of the tank more than anything. I've always been aware that the tank's been overstocked with fish, especially the neon tetras. I'm very aware that they need a lot more room than what they had in that tank. Unfortunately at the time I didn't have another tank spare that wasn't already full of fish, and I didn't want to overstock those tanks as well, so I kept them in there as a temporary holding until I was able to upgrade them to a bigger tank. They are actually in a new tank which is currently up the top of the fish rack at the moment. I'm still holding out on that video. There is one coming soon, but I've just got to finish it off and then I will show you what it looks like. Also, them fish are going to be moved into a new tank which is right here, and again I've nearly finished this build as well, so it's really exciting, but I just can't reveal it just yet, so just bear with me on that one. Also, I had 3 Albino Corydoras in this tank as well. They're currently still in there at the moment, but I do plan on moving them out as well. They're going into hopefully this tank if I've got enough room in there. Depending, if not, I'm going to be moving them up to this tank in here, but we'll see how we go. This is a bit of a daytime shot at the tank. Sorry for the light glare, but yeah, it's pretty basic setup on this tank. We've got a Nano classic LED strip on the top there that just sort of lights the tank, so it's nothing special. It's not a planted one or anything like that, but it does the job well. It's pretty good. I also run a sponge filter in this one and a heater, and that's pretty much it in terms of filtration and setup. So looking inside the tank a little bit more in depth, I have some Siamensis 53B, as you call it, some Reineckii in the back there, and some Ludwigia Super Red, I think it is. I've got some Java Moss in the left corner there, and some Java Moss in the right corner, and these are the rocks as well. Bit overgrown with algae. Unfortunately the room that I'm in is quite highly lit with natural light, so I do suffer from algae from time to time here, but yeah, it's not too bad. It looks quite natural as well, and the same with the substrate there. It's just white sand. Looks a little bit yellowy on the camera. I don't know if that's being picked up, and yeah, everyone seems to be having a great time in there. In terms of shrimp, I don't know, I dread to think how many at the moment. Probably at least 50 in here, all from Bloody Mary to red willies to just normal cherry shrimps in there. There's all various different kinds of culls of shrimp, and as you can see, pretty much everywhere they are breeding like crazy. There is also ram's horn snails in here. I think they got through on some of my plants, but yeah, they're pretty good. They've got a lot to eat on with all the algae on the rocks there. In terms of feeding for this tank, I don't really feed too much. As you can see, the shrimp are quite happy enough to feed on any algae or detritus that's around the tank. I'll shove in an algae wafer from time to time just for the Corydoras, really, just so they've got something to feed on properly. But yeah, not too much heavily feeding on this tank at all. Also, as you can see on the right there, I have some Vallisneria or jungle val growing. I had somebody asking not so long back, the other day, they messaged me just saying about their plants melting back or dying off, and was wondering, you know, if there was something wrong with their tank. But like most aquatic plants, if they're grown immersed, sometimes they will melt back when they're put into a submersed tank. It's just them getting used to the conditions of the water that they've been put back into. Sometimes they just need to find their feet, and if they're stuck in one place, unlike other animals or invertebrates, they can't move. So yeah, they have to deal with what they've got there. So they usually die off and then come back stronger than previously. In terms of fertilization, I dose this tank with TNC Complete. It's an all-in-one fertilizer, provides all of your macronutrients. So yeah, it's going pretty good so far. I've been trialing this out. I switched from Easy Green here, and yeah, I thought I'd give this a go since lots of people rave about it. So far, yeah, it's going okay. It's very hard to tell with fertilizers if they're working, especially if you've got CO2 running in some of your tanks and stuff. But the plants at the bottom there, I'm not running CO2, so they're doing pretty good. Also, I sometimes dose a bit of Secam Flourish XL just to help with algae and stuff like that. As you can see, clearly it's working in my heavily lit room I'm in. And also I sometimes use Flourish Iron. Now, I actually have a video about this coming soon, so stay tuned for that, because I want to talk about why I also dose iron when using TNC Complete, which is an all-in-one. But yeah, stay tuned for that one. Yeah, like I said, it's predominantly a shrimp tank now, and yeah, it's currently overstocked with shrimp, so I'm hoping to sell some of them off soon. Yeah, make a bit of money from it, hopefully. As I said earlier, I've also got a couple of really good build videos coming up. They're nearly done, like I said, but just waiting on a few bits and pieces left to do so. Currently funds pending, I would say, more than anything. But yeah, definitely stay tuned, stay subscribed, tell your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.